Good afternoon guys, my name is David and you're watching the VivaLaAutomotive channel. Today we're going to be talking about logos and more specifically about how car manufacturers' logos changed with time and if it was for the better or for the worst. In order to make this video more interactive, after showing you logos from one brand, there's going to be a poll on the top right corner where you can vote which one is your favorite. But before we start the video, don't forget to give it a like to help me fight the YouTube algorithm and subscribe to my channel for more automotive content every week. Also, if I'm going to be looking down here to the left throughout the video, that means that I'm just looking at the logos themselves so that I know what I'm talking about. Let's start this video off with the German manufacturer Audi. And believe it or not, they have been around for quite a while. Audi as a company was founded in 1909 and their first logo was this sort of difficult to read, weird shaped, stylized exhaust pipe, which I'm honestly quite glad that they got rid of. In 1932, Audi merged with 3 other German automotive manufacturers, and more specifically, it was Horsch Automobilwerke, Dampfkraftwagen, and Wandererwerke. And the logos of these 4 companies were enclosed in 4 circles which were intertwined together to symbolize the merger. And that's how we got the 4 circles that we all know and love today. In 1949, the logo slightly changed with the name Auto Union, the name of the company, appearing on top of them. And from 1969, Audi got rid of the 4 circles all along and just replaced them with the name of the company Audi. Thankfully, in 1995, the 4 circles reappeared again, and since then the logo didn't really change all that much. Honestly, out of all these logos, my favorite one is the one that Audi uses today. But what do you think? Vote above. Let's continue with Aston Martin. Or should I say Bamford and Martin? When the company was initially founded at the beginning of 20th century, it was called after its founders, Robert Bamford and Lionel Martin. However, Bamford's name was later replaced by the name of a hill. And believe it or not, I'm not making this stuff up. The Aston part of the name is named after Aston Hill in Buckinghamshire. So the first logo from 1920 is just the letters A and M intertwined together, which is very original, and I've never seen that before in any other automotive logo. In the next logo from 1927, we got the first version of the wings, which were supposed to symbolize freedom and speed. The logo was also silver, which was supposed to symbolize strong values, loyalty to customers, and heritage, even though the brand was only a few years old at this point. The logo from 1927 really reminds me of Corvette because of its triangularity, but over the years it has got less and less triangular, so the logo from 1935 looks pretty much exactly the same as it does now. Next up is BMW or Bayerische Motorwerke, which first specialized in the production of aircraft engines. However, after World War I, a production ban was placed on Germany, and so BMW started producing motorcycles and then cars. Their logo is quite simple and stayed pretty much the same all along. Many people think that the logo is supposed to represent the propeller of an aircraft in motion. However, that is a myth created in 1929, where there was an ad of BMW where the logo was on top of a propeller. The blue and white colors in the logo are actually supposed to represent the home state of BMW, Bavaria. The funny thing is that the colors in the logo are in reverse when compared to the actual coat of arms. And that's because of trademark laws way back when, which said that you cannot use coat of arms or symbols in commercial logos. BMW's logo was 2D for most of its history. However, that changed with the new millennium, when the top left bit got a bit lighter and the bottom right bit got a bit darker in order to look as if the logo was shaded, which was a trend at that time, and most other automotive manufacturers used it in their logos as well. The newest transformation of the BMW logo came out I think only last year, and it's quite a radical departure from what the logo used to look up until now. Personally, I really like the gold bits on the logo, so the one from 1923 is probably my favorite. Ferrari's logo is one of the most famous logos of all time. Everyone knows the black prancing horse on yellow background, and that's in part because it didn't change really all that much throughout the years. But even though the logo didn't really change, there are quite interesting versions of how Enzo Ferrari got the logo in the first place. The well-known part is that Enzo Ferrari was searching for a symbol which would bring luck to his cars in races. So the Baracca family suggested that he'd use the prancing horse symbol, which their son used to have on his airplane before he died in World War II. However, there are 2 different theories as to why he used to have this symbol on his plane in the first place. The first explanation is quite simple, and it is that the horse was on the coat of arms of the Baracca family. The second explanation is that Baraka adopted the symbol after he shot down a plane of a German soldier from Stuttgart. I have never noticed how similar the Ferrari logo is to the coat of arms of Stuttgart, but have you? Let's continue with Ford, and Ford has gone through quite a number of logos during its 117 years of existence. The first logo from 1903 was just simple black and white, and it featured the name of the city where the company was founded, Michigan. In my opinion, the first logo looks more like a whiskey label than an actual automotive manufacturer's logo. But only 4 years later, Ford was like, nah, we need a new logo. So, the logo completely changed color, shape, and font, and more resembled an American football than an actual car manufacturer's logo. But 2 years later, Ford was like, nah, we need a new logo. And so they completely changed the font, color, and shape of the previous logo. This time, the logo was very simplified and only featured a signature of Henry Ford, which has stayed in the logo up until today, more than 100 years later. But 2 years later, Ford was like, nah, we need another logo. And so they added a new logo, this time an oval was added. But 1 year later, Ford was like, nah, we need a new logo. And so a fifth different logo within only 9 years of existence was created. In this logo, the blue color appeared for the first time. But fun fact, before deciding on the blue color, they were also considering orange. Can you imagine the Ford logo being orange? Because yeah, I would hate to see that. And since then, nothing has really changed all that much about the logo. And my favorite one out of the bunch is probably the logo from 1961 because it's very simple and effective. The Lamborghini logo didn't change all that much throughout its existence, because it always featured the zodiac sign of Ferruccio Lamborghini, the Raging Bull. The initial logo from 1963 features the Raging Bull on this unsatisfyingly red background, which I really don't like. Then the logo from 1972 is pretty much the same as the one that is used by Lamborghini today, just worse in every aspect. Then the logo from 1974, which is really minimalist and only features black and white, and then the logo from 1998, which is used by Lamborghini up until today. Even though the logo from 1972 is really rough and unpolished, unfinished, I think I like it the best. But what do you think? Vote above. Or maybe it's there, honestly I don't know. Next up is McLaren, and oh boy, McLaren had an eventful history of logos. So the first logo of McLaren didn't resemble the current logo in any way, shape or form. It featured a crest-like emblem, green, white and red color palette, a symbol of kiwi as a tribute to Bruce McLaren's motherland, New Zealand, and a silhouette of a race car. The logo changed in 1967, and now it only featured a stylized, abstract image of a kiwi bird. And this is one of the most simplistic yet timeless logos I have ever seen. If you told me that this is McLaren's new logo and it was designed yesterday, I would have believed you. Oh yeah, and by the way, it became known as the Speedy Kiwi logo. Then in 1981, the logo underwent a complete transformation, and this is perhaps the most famous shape and form of the McLaren logo, because it was present on McLaren's winning race cars from 1984, 85, 86, 88, 89, 90 and 91. Throughout the existence of this one single logo, McLaren has won 7 Drivers' Championships and 6 Constructors' Championships, which is just unbelievable to me. Then McLaren changed the logo again in 1991 and 1998. And the logo from 1998 looks pretty much identical to the logo McLaren uses now. It is really interesting to see how McLaren went from the sharp edges on the chevron above the logo to the really smooth swoosh logo that we know today. According to McLaren, the swoosh is the representation of the swirling vorticals which appear on top of the car's side pods. As you already could have guessed, my favorite logo out of all of these is the Speedy Kiwi logo. The Mercedes logo is arguably, once again, one of the most famous logos in the automotive industry. The famous star logo was patented in 1901, even though it actually wasn't used in the logo itself up until 1916. The 3 rays of the star are supposed to symbolize perfection, as well as Mercedes conquering water, land and air, as it produces engines for boats, aircraft, cars and other vehicles. Some believe that the logo is also a stylized image of a steering wheel. However, we know that that's not the case, as Gottlieb Daimler used the logo long before the production of cars. The logo didn't change all that much in the past 100 or so years, and I don't know which one of these logos is my favorite. However, I for sure do know which one of them I like the least, and that's the logo from 1916. I don't know why, but the combination of the red, golds, and whatever, it just looks disgusting to me. And last up is Porsche. And Porsche didn't have its first logo for a full 20 years after its foundation in 1931. The origin of the logo is uncertain. However, it first started appearing on cars after Porsche's entrance to the US automotive market in 1952. The logo consists of the coat of arms of the city of Stuttgart and the now non-existent state of Württemberg, of which Stuttgart used to be the capital city of. I quite like the logo from 1952, and fun fact, this exact logo is now used as decals on the newest 991 911 generation of the Speedster. And that's everything for today's video, and I was recording it for way too long, so if you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my YouTube channel for more automotive content. In the comments below, let me know which one of the logos is your favorite or which one of the brands is your favorite, and as always, hopefully, see you next time.